Hello, I'm Paul Harvington, and this is your GCMS training video for CHE-115. Here we've got Chardonnay. It's our Agilent 6890, 5973 single quadrupole mass spectrometer. It's an inert mass selective detector. You don't need to worry about that. Here's our team viewer page. Use these credentials to remote in and access the instrument virtually. Make sure you log your use on the logbook, please. Today is actually January 6th. And then I've got standards 1 through 6 in those spots. So, you need to get used to these icons. If these icons are open, do not launch them. In particular, this one. This is Chardonnay, system control, and data analysis. Data analysis looks like that, but this is anti-intuitive. All right, to start a run, you want to make sure your method's loaded, and it is. It's this CHE-115 method here. The 4 most recent methods will be down in this pull down. It's very unlikely you need to choose one different than that. 98% of the time I have these things ready to go for you. So let's go ahead and start a run. We're going to click the green arrow. We're going to choose our data path. I've already set one for 2022. We'll probably want to make a new subfolder for the different sections. So I'm going to use standard 4. Today is the 6th, and so standard 4 is in vial location number 4. And you know, when I did 1, I got 8 million. So I'm going to try the 0.2, and that was using 1 microliter that I got 8 million. So then we're just going to hit OK, run method. You saw the group 1 pop up. That's our first indication everything's going well. We look over to the auto sampler. Now it's starting to move. That's our next indication that automation is running as we expect it to. Okay, I've already filled these solvents. This is the one thing you TAs need to do before the experiment starts, especially if my staff is not here before you. Just to make sure these wash solvent bottles are filled with acetone or hexane. It really doesn't matter. So we're going to do 3 pre-rinses. Here's the third one. And it's going to take just a tiny volume from standard 4, 0.2 microliter. We do 1 pump. Really, if we just did that pump and then sucked up air and injected it, we would still get a significant abundance. So everything's going well. Sometimes the auto sampler will have a hiccup. That's probably the most common thing that's going to happen. So now we've got this window, override solvent delay. No, we never override the solvent delay. That allows the trillions of solvent molecules that we know what it is to pass by. We want to save our filament for the millions of analyte. So I always hit no on that. All right, so we're not going to see any data until about 3 minutes. In that time, let's come over and look at this data analysis. So file, let's load data file. Hey, standard 1 is already there. It was run 2 that was a good one. Turned out the tune file had the old filament. Filament 1 is burned out. So if you're not getting any emission data, then you've got the wrong tune file or the wrong method, and you just need to update it with the A tune, and filament 2 will be selected. So we have a peak right here. I'm gonna double right click on it, and that pops up. It gives me 3.193 as my retention time. And it looks like I got a molecular ion of 128. I double right click, kicks in the library, NIS17, no name at 95% quality. All right, so that's pretty good. 0 to 50, you know, you take it with a grain of salt. All of them you have to take it with a grain of salt. Do you see your molecular ion? Does it make sense? Do you see the right fragments? Under 50, not very believable. But I've seen standards come out at 30, 27. You know, 50, 85, believable, but still, do you see your right molecular ion? Do you see the proper fragments? And of course, you know, 85 and above is very believable. You can't just run off with any hit. Sometimes I change the library back to 2005 and bromobenzene comes up as dibromopentane. You'd be amazed how many students are fooled by that library hit. All right, let's see where we're at. So, okay, now from this data analysis window, I can go File, take a snapshot, and if we've exceeded the solvent delay, it will give us our run up to that point. Obviously, we're not quite there yet, as it said unable to take a snapshot. Now, if somebody closes out ChemStation and tries to reopen it, we will not have that function. I have to do the total reboot to maintain our online access. Just a little longer and our solvent delay will go. I've got this abundance up here at about 2 million. We don't need it that high. I'm gonna drop it down. I like it to be about 500,000. And so the analyte peaks, or the standards, they have to be at least 100,000 for the library to kick in. I like them to be about 250 to 500. You know, as long as they're under 1 million, we're good. When they start getting to be, you know, 1 million or 10 million, stuff like that, that's when we're starting to get too much. And so you can see we're starting to get some data down here, as we see in our spectrum. And then here is the total ion, but we can see some fragments popping up. And so at this point, I would be able to go and take that snapshot. So why don't we go ahead and do that? Oh, what happened? You saw it. I have it documented. This thing just got corrupted. And so I just double right click in that, and hey, it's saying, well, not much, right? Propane, I doubt that. I don't like scanning below 33 is usually where we set it. Sometimes it's 50. So I'm surprised that we're actually getting this stuff. Oh God, I hate that. Can I reset the windows? Does that work? Jeez. This is like my true pet peeve. Did you guys see me do anything? If you saw me do anything that made this happen, let me know. Oh, this is weird. All right, well, at least we got bigger windows now. Let's try another snapshot. Still nothing. And so we'll see it on here. But basically that's it in a nutshell. Each runs about 10 minutes, and they can finish this lab up pretty quick. I am trying to connect standard for the ether to the FTIR also, so I'll put a sample of that. Oh, there's our peak, and that is this compound actually. So let's see what we got. We'll take our snapshot. Boom, here's our peak. What is that? 700K. Obviously we're going to have enough, and this is butoxybenzene. That's what I plan to use as the extra FTIR. All right, I'll reset these windows and get this back in working order, and I'll see you guys for the next experiment. Thanks.